Shinkansen or bullet trains are the fastest and most convenient way of traveling around Japan. You can cover longer distances over a short amount of time. Today's video will show you what it's like to travel by the bullet train. Let's go. On this trip, we will be riding the bullet train from Nagoya Station all the way to Tokyo Station. Usually, you will need a physical ticket to ride the Shinkansen line or a JR pass, which is available for non-residents. You can buy your tickets at the station. Just follow the signs for Shinkansen tickets, and yes, it's written in English. Remember to collect the ticket after inserting it into the ticket area. We are leaving from track 14 and we have booked reserved seats, which means we have to sit in a specific car in specific seats. Depending on the station that you are using, you may have to walk some amount of distance to get to the track that your train is leaving from. Be sure to book a departure time that allows you enough leeway to get there on time. We have reserved seats in car 11. So as soon as we got to the platform with track 14, we started moving towards the entrance line for car 11. It is important that you sit in your assigned car and your assigned seating area to accommodate a smooth flow. You will know which car you are at by simply looking at the rails right before the track. They'll have each car listed on the entrance area, or you can look up because that also will tell you, the signs above the entrance area will also tell you which car you are currently standing at. So we are currently standing by car 5 and 6, so we still have a little way to go. This train is also leaving for Tokyo, but we decided to book for a later one, which is the one leaving after this one, because we knew based on the time that we entered the station that we would not be able to comfortably make it to this train. So, as I said before, book with a time that gives you leeway. We are still on our way to finding our car that we have on our reserved ticket. We are in car 11 and we entered the tracks around the front of the train, which is like car 2, so it does take some time to get there. Now here comes our train that we will take from Nagoya Station to the Tokyo Station. The reserved seats on our tickets are seats 12, D, and E. One is an aisle seat and the other is a window seat. So once we enter the train, what we will be doing first is to go along the aisle and look for our specific seating area. But before we even enter the train, we have to be polite and wait on the passengers who are arriving in the train to leave first. So we are now about to enter. And you have to be careful, there's a gap between the train and the platform, so mind your luggages when you're going inside the train. You have to lift. As I mentioned before, once we enter the car, we will be searching for our seat numbers. And as you can see, each seat are labeled in the same fashion like an airplane, so it should be easy to understand. You look for the number and you look for the seat letter, which is AB, ABC, and in our case we're looking for 12, D and E. Now that we are seated, it's time to get a bit comfortable because we will be in this train for over an hour. So just like in an airplane, you have a little table top that you can use for food, drinks, or even for using your laptop, doing work, whatever the need is, there's a table. Additionally, there's also a space for holding, it's a hook. You can use the hook to hold your coat. Since it's winter, it's quite popular that coats are going to be used on this hook, but you can also use it for holding bags or anything that you would like to put on a hook. It is also possible to adjust the back of your chair, like bring it back or bring it forward, but be mindful of the person behind you before you go ahead and do that. Just a little etiquette. You can also remove the handle in between passenger seats, but that's if you're comfortable with the person you're sitting next to. The next best thing about riding a Shinkansen is that you can also enjoy the view from your window if you're lucky enough to get a window seat or if you booked a window seat. It is also a really cool way to see like other sides of Japan that you would not be able to see on a conventional route like driving in a car or on local trains. Our Shinkansen route from Nagoya Station will pass through Shizuoka, Shin-Yokohama, and go to Tokyo. And because we will be passing through the Shizuoka area, we will get a chance to see Mount Fuji. So look out for that one. Okay, now that we're acquainted with, the basis of traveling by Shinkansen, how about we take a look at the bathroom area? This area is usually located in between train cars, which is also the entrance or exit of the Shinkansen train. It is also a great area to get a pretty good view from the train if you so happen to not have a window seat. And the view from the train is just always amazing. It does flash by a little fast because the Shinkansen does move at a high speed, but I always find it really cool. Okay, now let's get back to the tour of the bathroom area. It's not a big area, but it's an important area because you just might need to use the bathroom. So right by the door is a sink area that you can use for washing hands or just, checking your makeup, fixing your makeup, it depends. There's also a curtain for privacy if you need that. As you will also see, there is no gender-specific bathrooms available on the train. They're both shared by both male and female. There is also a trash can located just by the door as well. So if you need to dispose of any garbage that you acquired while on the train, like snack wrappers and so on, you put it here. That's it for this tour of the rest of the facilities on the Shinkansen or bullet train. We're gonna head back to our seats and enjoy the rest of the ride until we get off in Tokyo. Of course, we will be on the lookout for Mount Fuji as we will be passing Mount Fuji on this trip and it would be such a shame to miss that beautiful view. So stick around while we wait on Mount Fuji. Or you could skip to the exact moment where Mount Fuji pops up if you don't want to see anything else. If that's the only thing you're sticking around for, just skip on ahead to it. It's okay. Maybe you're able to see it, maybe you aren't, but as you can see, everything outside is flashing by at somewhat of a fast speed. This is because the trains can reach up to a top speed of around 320 kilometers per hour. Therefore, a trip from Nagoya to Tokyo usually takes around 7.5 hours by car. But can you guess how long it will take us to get to Tokyo from Nagoya Station by the bullet train? If you guessed under 2 hours, then yes, you're right. This trip will take under 2 hours, while going by car would take roughly 7.5 hours. So That's a lot of time saved. So we have been traveling for a while now, and we are coming up on Shizuoka Ken, or Shizuoka Prefecture, where Mount Fuji is located as well. So we will get to see that view in just a few seconds. And there you have it. So, coming from Nagoya to Tokyo, we were sitting on the right side of the train, which is how we were able to catch this magnificent view of Mount Fuji. If you happen to be sitting on the left side of the train, which happens to be seats A, B, and C, you might not be as lucky. And while it might seem that we are somewhat close to Mount Fuji, we aren't that close to it, but it's so big and so noticeable that it's easy to see from the bullet train. I guess it's also good to note that this side of Shizuoka also doesn't have a lot of high rise building, which made it pretty easy to spot Mount Fuji from where we were. And this was actually my first time seeing Mount Fuji from the ground level, and it's really nice. Now that the main event has passed, we're gonna just close our window shades and just relax for a bit until we get to Tokyo. So it takes about 1 hour and 34 minutes from Nagoya Station to get to Tokyo. Once we got closer to Tokyo City, we pulled up our blinds and just enjoyed some of the city view that was outside our window. You will get to see how fast the Shinkansen is compared to a local train as we travel along this route a bit, because now that we're in the city, we'll see a lot more local trains passing, and you can judge for yourself how fast you think a Shinkansen is going compared to a local train, as we're about to pass a few of the other JR lines like the Yamanata line and so on. And keep in mind, these trains are in fact moving. They are moving. They might seem like they're not moving, but they are in fact moving. As we come to the end of our journey, we are about to pull up into the Tokyo station where we will be departing this train trip. But stick around, we will show you a bit more of what the station is like and what it's like moving inside the station. Keep in mind that we traveled during the winter break here in Japan, so it's a bit crowdy and it's very active. There are a lot of people out and about. And we are now at our final stop, and this train actually stops, the final stop is Tokyo Station. So all the passengers here will be leaving this train at this stop. So once we got to the station, we decided to hang back a bit for a few minutes to just admire the bullet trains that are coming and going from the station, which are quite a lot because it's a busy period. So as soon as one comes, another one goes, and it's just really busy. And we just enjoyed our time there looking at the trains. We were also able to take a lot of pictures with trains that are parked up waiting to be loaded, and it was a nice experience. So if you're looking to have a picture with a bullet train, this is definitely the location to do so. You can hang back after your train has arrived and just enjoy the view, take photos, whatever you like to do. Once we were finished, we then decided to navigate the crowd that was Tokyo Station. And yes, this is usually a very busy station, even outside of holiday time. So yeah, we had to navigate the Tokyo Station to find our way back off the Shinkansen track and back into society. If you kept on hearing me use the words bullet train and Shinkansen interchangeably and you may have been confused, I'm sorry. I should have said this earlier, but Shinkansen is the local or Japanese name for the bullet train. So here you can get an idea of how crowded Tokyo Station is. Be mindful of your luggage because you have to keep in mind that there are a lot of people moving around, and you don't want to have your luggage bumping into other people, and you don't want them to bump you either or your luggage. Also, never leave your luggage unattended in the station because it might raise alarm. Train stations in Japan tend to have a ton load of stairs, so make sure that you can lift your luggage because there'll be a lot of times where you will have to lift them up or down a flight of stairs, and trust me, it is a lot of work if you have a heavy suitcase. There will be times when you're lucky enough to find an escalator or an elevator that will take you up to the track or the platform that you need to be, but it's not always like that, and sometimes you don't even have the time to search for one. That's it for this video. If you liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you're not already subscribed, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. See you.